Lights dim, low screens aglow. TOYG takes us where dreams flow. Action heroes, villains, dark night. Every scene, hearts delight.
You poor clueless old geek.
Because I'm clueless. I thought I'd brush off an old intro there. I forgot to do an intro for the film, but never mind. Wyngrace is here saying, I am the extraordinary gentleman. And he is indeed. The pan-dimensional mega being who is omniscient, as we all know. Anyway, welcome to episode 129. Hope you can hear me, by the way. I've had problems with my microphone. Yesterday I had problems with my camera up there for my sketch time. Today I've had problems with my microphone, so I hope you can hear me. I'll check. Shall I check? I'm going to make sure. I'm going to have to just make sure that I'm coming through. Hey, there's always stuff happens, isn't there? I did, check the microphone. It seemed okay. Yes, you can hear me. Right. Yes, right. There's extra loud today, nice and crisp. All right, okie dokie. I've actually lowered it, in the StreamYard settings. It were on 200. I've lowered it down to 110. So anyway, right. So where were we? Oh, right, yes. Welcome to episode 129 of Magnificent Mondays, and this week we're going to be reviewing The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, LXG. LXG, for God's sake. Anyway, which is a pretty good film, even though everybody seems to hate it, except for me and probably one or two other people. I really like it. I think it's a fun film. It's the Avengers in Victorian times, sort of. But anyway, before we get going, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the I'm burping already. hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube and Rumble. Double check. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Right. Not on Twitch. Don't do Twitch anymore. What else? Explore the description for links for stuff like merch and me books. Let's give them a plug. Let's give me books a plug. Silent Predator, short horror novella about genetically engineered big cats, and it's a people eating big cats. Genetically engineered big cats eating people in a North Yorkshire village. It's only thin. And Mercury Rapids, I wish I were thin. And Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff like that. They're on Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. Right, and Justin's here. Yay! Hello, Justin. Another extraordinary gentleman. What else? Links. Links also for my websites, my channels, and my social medias, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Become a member and you get early access videos and exclusive videos and live streams and stuff like that, like we did last night. We did a members-only sketching live stream where I dropped the scoop about Starfleet Academy getting cancelled after Season 2. Winger says, you have a links? Cool, do I? I've said something again, haven't I, Orion, about that? I don't know. Anyway, what else? I'm looking for a links apart from that, LXG. I don't know. Anyway. Is that it? Are we done? Yes, right, we can get on with the film, can't we? So, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen from 2003, based on the graphic novel from Alan Moore and Kevin O'Neill. It got lambasted at the time when it came out, and I genuinely don't know why. I've always liked this film, but obviously Alan Moore disowned it because he just disowns every film, I think, that has his name on it. And I think Kevin O'Neill didn't like it either. Sean Connery, it's the film that retired Sean Connery. He didn't have a fun time with the director Stephen Norrington. I think Stephen Norrington's probably been in director jail ever since. Let's have a look, see what he's done after this. And it's a shame because he's a good director. Where were we? Right, he did Blade 2. No, he did Blade 1, didn't he? What has he done after that? He was going to direct the 2007 Clash of the Titans, but he didn't do that. And then they were going to do The Crow, and somebody else did that. And then they were going to do The Lost Patrol, but he didn't do that either. So, no, he hasn't done anything since this one. So I think he's fallen out with filmmaking. Which is a shame because he's a talented director. Like I say, Sean Connery didn't get on with him, but anyway, and he had nothing to do. I think once he'd finished his directorial duties, I think he washed his hands of the film. He didn't do any of the publicity for it or anything. I don't think he's in any of the behind the scenes stuff that's on there. I didn't get a chance to watch him, but at least there's the commentaries on. He's not on either of the commentaries. There's 2 commentaries on there. Not on either of those. But anyway. You said you have links after... yes, links in the description. Yes, of course. See, yes. I do have a links and an ocelot. Because I do ocelot. As in oscillate. I don't know. Anyway, Justin says, also Connery got sick of Hollywood and the roles they were sending him also. Well, he was a producer on this film, so he can't lay all the blame on other people, can he? But he was a producer on this. But anyway, he's good. He's good in this film. They're all good. Shame, wish he did a few more movies after this. He did some speaking roles. Yes, he did. I've forgotten. He did a James Bond game, didn't he? Provided a voice for one of the James Bond games. He did something else as well. Well, he was offered plenty of great roles. He just didn't understand them. Yes, he was offered, but that was before this, wasn't it? He was offered Gandalf, wasn't he, in Lord of the Rings, but that was before this. But anyway, Where were we? So yes, so directed by Stephen Norrington, screenplay by James Dale Robinson. That name rings a bell. I meant to look him up earlier on, and I forgot, because it's been one of those days today. Right, what's he done? Oh, he's done a lot of comics and stuff. DC, Marvel. What films has he done? All right, Nothing I Know. But the name rings a bell. Why does the name ring a bell? Because I'm not a comics person, so I won't know him from any comics. So why do I know that? No, I think I know. I think I'm thinking of some. Is it James Badgedale? Is that what I'm thinking of? There's a screenwriter or something called that in there. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Anyway, so he wrote the bugger, the script, produced by Don Murphy and Trevor Albert. Don Murphy. It sounds exactly like Joss Whedon on the commentary. That weird... Is it a Californian accent or something that like Joss Whedon's got? He's got one of those... He's got a Joss Whedon accent. It's very strange. Stars Sean Connery, Shane West, Stuart Townsend. I don't know what Shane West has been in. What's he been in? A lot of TV. Right, fair enough. Stuart Townsend, who you may know from... Queen of the Damned. He played Lestat in Queen of the Damned. Peter Wilson. I was pronouncing it Peter Wilson, but in the commentary they were calling her Peter Wilson. But that's a man's name. But anyway, whatever. Peter Wilson. Peter. Jason Fleming and others. Hang on, let me see the others. Tony Curran, Richard Roxburgh, Naziruddin Shah, David Hemmings, Michael Hemmingstamp. That's if you know, you know. Who else? And that's about it. And some other people. Music was by I can't remember who did the music for this. Trevor Jones, who I think also did the music for Congo and other things. But I remember seeing his name on Congo. Had a budget of 78 million, box office of, we'll call it 180 million, which apparently they say, according to this, it was successful, according to this. Where is it? I've seen it somewhere. They said it was classed as a successful film. Where is it? Where have I seen it? I can't find it. I've seen it somewhere. I can't bloody find it now. But it wasn't really. It's supposed to make 3 times the budget, aren't they? So if it had a budget of, what did I say? We'll call it 80 million. It should have made, 240 million at the box office to break even, and it didn't. So that might explain why it didn't get a sequel that they were hoping for. Anyway, where are we? Catch up on the chat, because Win, Grace and Justin are contributing. Justin says, from Russia with Love game, is that what he did the voice for? Yes, fair enough. Which I've never played. I've only played one James Bond game, and that's the Quantum of Solace on the Xbox 360, which I kind of enjoyed. I've never played GoldenEye. He was in good health until around 2015, 2016. He got dementia or something, didn't he? His wife said that his last few years he suffered from dementia, which is sad. It's sad to see. The same thing happened to my mum. She was this vibrant, independent woman, and then in the last year or so of her life, she just went downhill, and it was really sad to see. But and that's what happened with Sean Connery, I think. It happens to us all, doesn't it? Nobody's immortal, apart from Win, Grace, obviously. Just said the effects in this hold up great. There's some really good effects. There's some that are a bit iffy. But I was watching it, I was thinking, it doesn't matter. Because I was watching some of the explosions and stuff in the background, I was thinking, that don't look, particularly good. But I was thinking, it doesn't matter though, because I enjoy the film. Win, Grace could go for a nice pitta right about now. Pita. With some doner kebab meat in, and some salad, and a bit of yoghurty sauce, and maybe some chilli sauce on as well. That's a proper after pub grub in the UK, is that? when you roll out of the pub and you're feeling a bit peckish, you go to the doner kebab house. You get a big greasy doner kebab in a pita bread. It's all breaking apart as you're walking down the street. So you're leaving a trail of doner kebab meat behind you and salad. By the time you get to the bus stop, you've nothing left. It's all in your hand. You just yogurt sauce running down your arm. Hey, the good old days. Where were we? Justin says, criminally underrated film. Underrated, not unrated. I'm talking about underrated, but it is starting to get some love. Good, because it's a good film. And you've never played GoldenEye? No, I haven't. Never played it. Never played it. And it is available on various systems now, isn't it? And I've never got round to it. Anyway, right, so we'll get on with it, shall we? We'll get on with it. We're not going to watch the film, obviously, because YouTube would throw a conniption fit, as I always say. So we're going to watch it in a series of stills, and I'll try and remember what I've gleaned from from the Blu-ray. And I'll probably dip into IMDb trivia from time to time. But anyway. Oh, hang on, we haven't done with the comments yet, the chat. Justin says, the box office money numbers are a scam. It made the budget back and then some. Yeah, that's it. It made 100 and something, it said. 180 million it made, didn't it? But you got to remember, though, there's the budget of like 80 million. But the studio doesn't get all the ticket money back. And then there's the rule of thumb is 3 times the budget is what it's got to make to break even, because there's marketing in there on top of that. So anyway, but that's just what they say. I don't think it would hold up now, but at the time it was the best first-person shooter yet. Yeah, I know everybody loves it, and I've never played it. I've seen people playing it on YouTube and stuff, but I've never played it myself. Right, where were we? Oh, yes, we're getting on with the film, aren't we? Right, so I'll put myself down in the corner. We shall get the old transparency up to try and avoid a copyright claim, which probably won't. And I'll put myself down there. There we go. And we will get on with it. Add this to the blooming stage. There it is. Is it going to come on? There it is. 20th Century Fox. We might be safe, because Disney's not too bad, are they? With copyright stuff. The real bad ones recently are Paramount and Warner Brothers. They're the bad ones lately. And Sony as well. They're getting in on the act. But anyway, that's enough of my woes. Right, we're off. 20th Century Fox. Just buy it back, Disney. Buy back the Fox name. Just do it. Right. I like that, by the way, where it dissolves into a late 19th century factory thing. The 20th Century Fox logos become a big sign on top of an old factory. Wingray says, Disney also just announced Wonder Man is getting a second season. Figures the show they tried to pretend didn't exist, everyone liked. It was good. I really liked Wonder Man. I thought it was a lot of fun. But nobody watched it, though, did there, apparently? But anyway, good for them. Getting a second season. It were okay. Anyway, where were we? Right, we're off. We're going to get some text exposition any second now when we're not panning down, what they call it, tilting down into Gotham City, but it's really London. But we're going to get some text. There we go. 1899. So at the back end of the Victorian era, the great nations of Europe share an uneasy peace. For hundreds of years, wars have been fought with the same weapons, single-shot rifles, cavalry and horse-drawn cannon. But this old century is soon to end, it says. Hang on. A new age dawns, the 20th century. Dun, dun, dun. And then everything's starting to shake now. Look, the chimney pots are falling off because stuff's about to kick off. Wingrace says, Sony needs to do something for money. Their spider-adjacent films tanked, and they gave K-pop Demon Hunters to Netflix for like $7. Yeah, I bet they're kicking themselves about that, aren't they? They'll make it all back with Brand New Day. They'll do well with that. Anywho, right, so we're off. It's all kicking off. We're hearing some rumbling. We see a good old British Bobby there. It's a dead end down there. That's me, British Bobby on America Wilf in London. It's all rumbling, and this fella comes running down saying, with blowing his Bobby's whistle, and Moorgate Passage, and they go running round there. We go, Sean Connery. Apparently, on the set, people weren't allowed to do impersonations of Sean Connery, but they couldn't help themselves. Because you can't, can you? But apparently, they were told by Sean Connery's people not to do impressions of him. But apparently he wasn't that bothered about it when people, when they did slip out. He took it with good humour, apparently. And in the film, Peter Wilson's got to do an impression of him because it's in the script. And he said he liked it because it was the worst impression of him he's ever heard. It were perfect, he said. But anyway, that's later on. Right, here come the Bobbies running down. And we're going to say, they come, a big tank comes bursting out of the wall. And remember, this is 1899, so we're like 16 years before the outbreak of World War I, in which tank warfare would essentially begin, wouldn't it? But then, what in the God name is that? It's bloody tank, mate. Anyway, so here it comes, rumbling down the street. By the way, it was filmed in Prague. It's supposed to be London, but it was filmed in Prague in the Czech Republic. Was it the Czech Republic back then, in 2003? It probably wasn't it, yeah. I don't know when it broke. It used to be Czechoslovakia. Love that name for a country, Czechoslovakia. It sounds very romantic to me. And now it's just, what is it, Slovakia? Is that what they call it now? Or is it Czechia now? Something like that. And the Czech Republic's Czechia now, isn't it? I don't know. I can't keep up with bloody Central Europe. Anyway, so here it comes down the street, and they're all running off, but this one Bobby is saying, "Stop! Halt! In the name of the law," he says. There we go. In the name of the law. And then he gets run over. Boing. But luckily, it's a, what certificate is it? It's only a 12 certificate, so there's no gore in it. We just see his helmet get crushed, so we assume he's been splattered. Wingrace says, it's called Check Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself. Okie dokie. I often wreck myself. But unless that's got some sinister undertone, I don't know. I've not heard that phrase. So. Anyway, right, so they're heading to the Bank of England. So they're going past the Bobbies. The Bobbies are hitting it with their truncheons because they don't have guns, British Bobbies. Hitting it with their truncheons and say, how are we going to stop this thing? It's heading for the Bank of England. So here it goes. And for some reason, there's soldiers in the Bank of England. I don't think there is these days. I don't know. I've never been to the Bank of England, but I don't think they have soldiers in it. But there's good old British Tommies there. In the Bank of England. Were they called Tommies in 1899? Why were they called Tommies? I'm going to look that up now. I know they had Tommy guns, didn't they? That might be why. They had Thompson machine guns, didn't they? The Germans called us Tommies. Is that it? I'm going to look it up. Why were... Have I spelled that? No, I spelled that wrong. Can't even spell were British soldiers called Tommies. British soldiers were called Tommies. Oh, right, short for Tommy Atkins, because it was the generic name used by the British War Office in the 19th century to represent the average soldier in army forms and pay books, with the name appearing as early as 1743. Oh, right, fair enough. So it's nothing to do with the Thompson machine gun. Anyway, so I was wrong. By the way, Wingrace says, it just means we're talking about check yourself before you wreck yourself. Consider the consequences of your actions before you end up in trouble. It was an early 90s rap song. Probably why I don't know it. Anyway. Thank you for that, Wingrace. Thank you. I never consider the consequences of my actions. Anyway, right, here it comes bursting in, and the Tommies are shooting at it, and obviously it's just bursting through the walls and stuff. For some reason, lots of bookshelves in the Bank of England. I'm guessing there's some sort of ledgers. I don't know. But here it comes. I don't think the Bank of England is. It's not like a bank, is it? Because we've seen like tellers and stuff, but I don't know. Anyway, here it is. It's going to get into the vault. It arrives at the vault and it uses its big gun to burst its way out. But anyway, the little hatch opens and Bobby says, "There's men inside," because that's how they speak. Oh, I'm going to prove it.
There's men inside!
There's men inside. Anyway, there we go. They just blow the vault open. I bet they all had their fingers in their ears inside that tank. Anyway, the soldiers emerge from the tank like a Trojan horse. They're all like going, "Oh, that noise," the British chaps. And they'll come out speaking German with subtitles. And then we see this fella as well. There we go, with a skull motif, saying, "Leave one alive to tell the tale." But he's saying it in German. What does it sound like?
Das einen am Leben.
It's whatever. Yeah. So, stop it. So there we go, they're speaking. So they think the Germans, and they're saying, "Such treasures." He's got a big bar of gold, because I presume Americans think that the Bank of England's like Fort Knox, when it probably isn't. But the fella with the skull thing, we learn is called the Phantom, with an F. Has gone for some plans. I don't know why these are in the Bank of England. These apparently are the plans and blueprints or whatever for the buildings in Venice. Why they're in the Bank of England, I don't know. But you'd think they'd be in Rome or somewhere, wouldn't you? Or Venice. But they're in the Bank of England. He's stealing those, and then the spinning newspaper thing. "Not us," says Germany, because there was some other thing somewhere. Here we go. "Germany's newest weapon." I want to read this, see what it says. "Sunday evening concerts rescheduled for March. Northern area faces dilemma." 18 pages, is that all? What does this say? "As regards bilateral treaties validly conducted by the government of the United Kingdom on behalf of the country formerly known as Unigrass," what the hell is this going on about? Or validly applied or extended by the said government to the country. What they're talking about? What's that got to do with Sunday evening concerts? I think they're just using just copy pasted some text from somewhere, aren't they? Anyway, so that says that, and then we get "Not us," says Germany. "Tax reform as measures sought by council," says the Globe and Traveller. "Meeting set." You get 20 pages in that. Is that that's the number. No prices on. Should say like, 4p, 4D or something like that, shouldn't it? "German High Command denies attack," it says down at the bottom. There we go. And then Berlin, May 1899, so it's about a month later then. So apparently this is Berlin. I don't know if it is or not. It's probably Prague. I don't know. But anyway, we're in some building. No tanks this time, just loads of British Tommies come running in. There it is. And then we see the face, well, the eye of the Phantom. He's got something up with him, hasn't he? But he's speaking speaking English this time. And they've got a doctor called Draper. Not a very German name, is it? Or maybe it is, I don't know. But it says, what do you want? With a German accent. And he goes, "The world, Herr Draper. I want the world." And apparently they're building Zeppelins in this place. That's Herr Draper, by the way. "Are you crazy? This place is filled with hydrogen gas." But he's got some sort of bazooka thing that he fires. There it is. Look at the Zeppelins. Dirigibles. Why has it got this wire attached to it? I don't know. But because it kind of disappears. I don't know what that's for. I'm sure people that know more about these sort of things can explain. But anyway, off it goes. Blowing them all up. because they're all filled with hydrogen. Remember the Hindenburg and all that. So all they blow up. So obviously the British get blamed for this attack. There we go. Germany attacked. Germany accuses Great Britain. Economic pact settled. So that's some good news, isn't it? Leaders emerge. Fire continues to burn in Congo. Ooh, we can mention Congo with Trevor Jones a bit ago, didn't we? What's that? Is that what we're looking at there? Is that a gun or something? Is that... Oh, that... Because they might have found it because he just dropped it. That bazooka thing that he fired. Says the London Post. Anyway, right, so we're now in Kenya, I think. Does it say? There we go. Kenya, June 1899. So another month later. There's, I presume that's supposed to be Mount Kilimanjaro in the background. I'm guessing this is a, what do you call it? Stock footage or something. It could be CG, I don't know. Because when we get to the, where we're going, actually, no, it's probably CG, to be honest, because it wasn't filmed in Kenya or Africa, for that matter. All the Africa scenes, the Kenya scenes, or is it Kenya? I always say Kenya. Were actually filmed in Czech Republic, in just outside Prague. So they made it look like a hot, dusty country, didn't they? Even though it's in the middle of, Central/Eastern Europe. But anyway, so here we go. It's approaching some sort of, what would you call it? A big house. What do they call them now? Like a plantation house, that sort of thing. There he is. This chap's arriving. There he is. Tells the fella, don't wander off, in a clipped British accent. Anyway, it's gone in there. It's some sort of gentleman's club, and he asks for Alan Quatermain, because we're going to find out that all the characters from Victorian literature were real people. So in this film, we're going to get Alan Quatermain, we're going to get Tom Sawyer, and the Phantom that we saw earlier on is actually from medieval Victorian literature. Well, who else is in it? Peter Wilson plays Mina Harker. I think in the comics she was Mina Murray. I think. I've not read it, but she plays Mina Harker from Dracula. Tom Sawyer from Tom Sawyer. Alan Quatermain from was it H. Rider Haggard books of King Solomon's Mines and all that stuff. What else we got? We've got the Invisible Man. He's going to be in it, but he's not the original Invisible Man. Is another one that stole, because the original Invisible Man died, and this fella that's I forgot his name, Skinner, stole the formula to make himself invisible. We've got him. Who else have we got? Dorian Gray. He's the Stuart Townsend character. I'd say it's like the Avengers of Victorian action heroes. Oh, pardon me. And who else have we got? Am I missing anybody? Oh, yes, we've got Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Well, the same person, obviously. And lots of other mentions. Van Helsing's mentioned and Dracula's mentioned. Yes, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yes, I mentioned him. Who else? Captain Nemo. We've got Captain Nemo as well. But anyway, right, so he comes in and asks for Alan Quatermain, and he says, the gentleman at the back. So he heads to David Hemmings. Not him. Do I have the pleasure of addressing Alan Quatermain? I always thought it was Quatermain with an R between the A and the T, but it's Quatermain, isn't it? Like Quatermass, but pronounced Quatermain. But anyway. Sherlock Holmes is mentioned, sort of. Yes, he is. Well, there is a Sherlock Holmes character in it. I don't think Holmes is actually mentioned, is he? Don't want to spoil the twist. We're going to spoil it, aren't we? But later on, yes, we learn somebody has a secret identity later on. Anyway, so he's asking David Hemmings. There he is. The great David Hemmings. Who you may know from, I'm trying to think what I've seen him in now. I'm blanking. What have I seen David Hemmings in? He's a super famous actor. We were in the Airwolf pilot, wasn't he? I know he's been in amazing stuff. I'm going to have to bloody find out now. Come on, David, what are you showing there? Oh, I'll have to go into IMDb. David Hemmings, or as I said, Michael Hemming stamp. One of swinging London's most lovable shits. Right, I blow up. Barbarella. Of course, we did Barbarella not so long since. Yes, and of course Gladiator with his makeup on. He was like the MC of the gladiatorial games in Gladiator, wasn't he? But yes, Blow Up is probably one of his most famous films, which I have seen once a long time ago, and it's a good film. What else has he been in? What are he in? Airwolf. I'm sure it was him. It might be some. Yes, he was. Yes, the Airwolf. He was the designer of Airwolf, wasn't he? In that. Which got an 18 certificate on its UK release because it had some F-bombs in it and a bit of nudie prod games that they added in that didn't show on telly. Anyway, so there we go. That's David Hemmings. Great British actor. And James Bond's grandpa is in the comics. Don't think he's in this film. No, he isn't. They do mention at the end, in the commentary, they mentioned at the end that we're going to have somebody come in, and I forgot his name, something like a weird name. I can't remember what it was now. Not Quentin, something like Quentin Bond, but it wasn't Quentin. It was something along those lines, asking about something or other. So it was going to be like James Bond's, like say grandpa or great grandpa or something. But they didn't do it. Excuse me. There was somebody else that were going to be in it, and they couldn't get the rights to it. What was it? What was that now? What was it now? It's something you'd think the rights wouldn't be tied up, but they are. And I forgot what it is. Never mind. Maybe I'll remember later. I should take notes, shouldn't I? But I don't. Anyway, here he is. He's not really. He's not Alan Quatermain. But he's one that he kind of covers for Alan Quatermain. Scrooge. I'm surprised he didn't get mentioned. No, I don't think any Dickens characters are in this, are they? Maybe they're in the comic. I don't know. I'm trying to think who it was there. Who they couldn't get the rights for. Because the estate that owns the rights, the family of the original author, had plans for it that never materialised. Anyway, he could have funded it, yes, particularly if it's Scrooge McDuck. Anyway, it's doing me head in now thinking of that. Can't remember. No. Anyway, so he's covering for Alan, telling stories of the King Solomon's mines and all that. He says, "I'm here on behalf of Her Majesty's British government," and all that. And but then he says, the Empire is in peril, or the Empire needs you. And then Sean Connery's there. He turns round and says, "But the question is, do I need the Empire?" And I bet everybody just repeated his lines. So I bet every line he said, I bet somebody somewhere just repeated it. Doing an impression of him. Anyway, he says, "Shall I toddle off now, Alan?" I forgot his name, Nigel. "Perhaps I should toddle off, should I, Alan?" "Yes, you toddle off, Nigel." So Nigel toddles off. And there we go. So he has a chat with the real Alan Quatermain, who was retired now. Apparently he's kind of gone into hiding, and he feels guilt over the death of his son. So we learned that he had a son that he took on an adventure, and his son got killed during that adventure. So he's stepped back from his heroic days. But we learned that the Empire is in peril from all these attacks. And he says, the Empire is always in some sort of peril. But anyway. And he's saying there's going to be a war. There's going to be a world war. Everyone will be fighting. And all that. So then he asks, "Where is your patriotism?" And he just stands up and says, "God save the Queen." And they all repeat it. Looks a bit scrawny lion there, isn't it? Stuffed in the back. What have they got it stood up for? Anyway, maybe it's a lion man. It says that's about as patriotic as it gets around here. But anyway, so they was talking about his losses over the years. But then some bad guys come in. You can tell they're bad guys because they've got long overcoats on in this weather. Or that weather, should I say. Anyway, so they start shooting. There we go. They shoot Nigel, poor Nigel. And then they get out and then start shooting back. We see they've got armour on. They're like blooming Clint Eastwood in that spaghetti western, or Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future 2, or was it 3, or was it 2, but maybe both, I can't remember. Or the other fella, Ned Kelly, like Ned Kelly. Even more like Ned Kelly later on in the film, some of them. But there we go, they're indestructible. No, just armour-plated. Anyway, so these are the bad guys. Look, they've got machine guns, look. Although machine guns were a thing back then, weren't they, in 1899? Just not like that. Just not like that. I know they had like the, where you did a ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding thing, so in Carry On Up the Khyber and all that. Gatling guns and stuff, didn't they? Anyway, so obviously he takes them all out. And sporting probably Belgium. Because the British, I don't know why, the British kind of get on with the Belgians. It's the French we don't like, isn't it? But anyway, nothing against the Belgians. Anyway, so take them all out. There we go. He just punches them and stuff because he's James Bond and all that. But then one gets away. There we go. Hang on. One runs for it in a minute. Good fight sequences, by the way, in this film. Yes, he skewers this fella on a rhino horn. I forgot about that. See a rhino on the wall there, and he just skewers him on it. And then there's one fella getting away, and there we go, he's running off, is this chap, and he's going to shoot him. But he can't see, because he ain't got his glasses. So he's been like Admiral Kirk in Star Trek 2. He puts his glasses on. With his big gun. Apparently this gun, see it, there we go. They had two made. They had the original, which apparently were really heavy. About, let's say, 40 pounds or something it weighed. This rifle, this double barrel rifle. And they had another one made of plastic and said it looked rubbish. So they just used the real one every time. You can see them struggling. Sean Connery and later on Tom Sawyer, the fella, I forgot his name already. Really struggling to hold it steady, really heavy. But anyway, so he shoots this fella, puts his glasses on, shoots him. And they bring him back, because he's not dead, he just wounded him. And but he takes some sort of pill. They go, stop him, I need information. And he takes a pill and tops himself before they can question him. But anyway, he's saying, look, a war in Europe will spread to its colonies, because he thinks he's safe in Africa. But obviously, these were the days when Europe had colonies all round the world, bringing civilization. But before he can make up his mind, there we go, the building blows up in a, it looks okay. It doesn't look super realistic, does it? But it's obviously superimposed. I think they blew up, I think they made like a model of the building and like got all the perspectives right and blew that up, didn't they? And yeah, whatever. Anyway, that blows up with all the poor chaps inside. Didn't see him plant any bombs. Maybe they dropped some suitcases or something with bombs in. But yeah, so that's made his mind up. Off he goes. So he says, "Okay, I'm in." And he says, "Okay, pack for an English summer." There we go. Oh, and before he sets off, he goes and looks at a gravestone that says Quartermain on. That's has got an R in it. I always thought that's how it was spelt, with it, like Quartermain. And obviously the set person or the fellow who built this gravestone thought that as well. But it isn't, because I've looked. I've looked it up and there's no R. Anyway, it's like Quatermain, but pronounced quarter. Anyway, it's one of those weird Englishy names, isn't it, that is spelt differently to how it sounds. Like Mannering. How do you get Mannering from Mainwaring? Anyway, where were we? Oh, an English summer. It's raining, obviously, because, it always rains in England. It doesn't. I've had some lovely days these last few days, and I've not been anywhere. And because tomorrow I'm determined to go for a walk, it'll piss it down. Guaranteed. Anyway, right, so he's here. Right, here we are. London, July 1899. So the dawn of the last century of the millennium or whatever approacheth. But obviously it's in Prague. So this building, this is the only real thing in this shot. It's some building in Prague. All the rest is either CG or matte paintings. It looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. So anyway, the head inside. It's supposed to be some government HQ. It's essentially the British Secret Service building or whatever, or Whitehall or something like that. There you go. You made good time getting here. We get another reference to a. There we go. Not as good as Phileas Fogg. I thought it was Phineas. Oh well, whatever. Around the world in 80 days, he says like that. So anyway, that's another reference because they're all real characters in these Victorian novels. They're all real. Right, so anyway, in the go. This is all inside. By the way, this is all in a real building. Not a set. It's a real building in Prague. Even these where they go down these steps and into this this ornate library. Obviously something to do with the Freemasons. It's the Freemasonic symbols there, the compass and the square, set square. But anyway, here it comes. It's something to do with a monastery. I've forgotten. Let's have a look. Does it say? What does it say in the filming locations? Bum, 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 bum. Yes, the Strahov Monastery. This is its library. And apparently all they did was just add some lights and stuff and a table. All the books, the actual books in the library, apparently some of them date back to the 14th century and stuff like that. So here he is. And this is where we're going to meet M. Is this a clue? What's that? That's some sort of, is it a cigarette case or something? There's like, what they call them? I forgot what they call them. You know, like what mimes are based on. What they call them? I can't remember. One of them on there. Is that relevant? I don't know. But anyway. Who are you? Identify yourself. I know my many names, Mr. Quatermain. Whatever he says. My superiors call me something. I've forgotten. My underlings call me Sir. My superiors call me M. So that's a reference to not a Victorian era person, but somebody from James Bond. M, who's obviously James Bond's superior in the British Secret Service. These are supposed to be people from literature. They're the Three Musketeers, maybe? Could be, couldn't they? I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know. Possibly. So anyway, this is M. We're talking about the League. He wants to recruit into the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which apparently was, they didn't make it up for this film, if you know what I mean. This isn't an origin story of the League. They've been going for a while, apparently. There are past members and all that stuff. But there you go. Captain Nemo's there. Apparently, as he was in the book, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Mysterious Island, is described in the book as being Indian, so they've got an Indian bloke in to play him, which is fair enough. He plays a good part. I don't like his nautilus though, but anyway. Right, so they're introduced to him. He says, "Rumour has it you're a pirate," and so he takes a bit of umbrage to that, but anyway, never mind. Right, so it's telling him all about the advanced weaponry that's been used in these attacks, turning nation against nation and all that stuff. And I think we've seen past members, by the way, of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That's, I forgot his name, Mr. Sin, Dr. Sin, I can't remember, the Scarecrow. And others, I think that's supposed to be Hawkeye, I think, from Last of the Mohicans. I don't know who the others are, can't remember. They did mention it in the commentary, but I've forgotten. So it's telling him what's going on. They've got to avert war. They've got to find out who's behind all this and all that. Anyway, we're looking at some of the people that they're signing up. That's Mina Harker. That's supposed to be Jonathan Harker. It's actually the scriptwriter, whose name I've forgotten already. James Dale Robinson. It's him. And then we're introduced to the Invisible Man. There we go. Just a voice comes out of nowhere. So the Invisible Man's there having fun with Alan Quatermain. But then he there we go, puts his coat on. There we go. Rodney Skinner, gentleman thief. He stole the formula to make himself invisible. Played by Tony Curran, a Scotsman, but putting on a Cockney accent. So he's going, "Call blimey, Governor, allow me to introduce myself, Rodney Skinner, gentleman thief." Anyway, for some reason, by the way, at the end, the bad guy affects a Cockney accent, and I have no idea why. When we find out his true identity. But anyway. So there we go. So he starts putting on his makeup so we can see him, which looks really cool. Obviously, it's Tony Curran in a blue suit, and he's just wiping the face paint on the blue mask, but it looks really good, doesn't it? He says he had to do it about 10 times. He had to do about 10 takes, and he says as soon as they'd done a take, makeup people would be coming and wiping it all off again for the next take. You'd think they'd just give him different things to put on, wouldn't you? Anyway, so there he is. There you go, putting that on. Really cool. Like I say, especially when you can see from behind. That's obviously that'll take some doing, won't it? Doing that. Anyway, so now we're going to get introduced to Mina Harker. There she is. There's the lovely Peter Wilson. We're supposed to play Mina Harker in this, and to be honest, I wish they had got her. Monica Bellucci. Blimey. Monica Bellucci as a vampire. Oh, we'd already seen her, hadn't we? Because she were in Dracula. Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. She played one of the brides of Dracula in that, didn't she? But it fell through. She were going to, I think she were cast and everything, but something happened. She couldn't do it. And Peter Wilson stepped in, and the producer was unsure about her. Until she turned up and did the job, and she's really good, So, but Quatermain's been a bit misogynistic here, saying I hope she's bringing a message from Mr. Harker. He says, my husband's dead. I don't know when he died. Because I think Dracula's set in 1897, isn't it? So this is 1899. So he'd only been dead a maximum of 2 years, but I think he says he's been dead many years. But anyway, never mind. We haven't to worry about the time when these characters are from, because apparently Tom Sawyer's from like the mid 19th century, so he should have been a lot older and all that. But they said in the commentary, they said, don't worry about it, it doesn't matter. It's a fantasy. They're just from the Victorian era. Don't worry about when the characters were written. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so we learn she's got abilities of her own. Obviously, Alan Quatermain's obviously a natural leader and a great shot and all that stuff. And Captain Nemo's got the Nautilus and all that. And he's super brainy. Skinner's invisible. And she has got some power that we haven't been told about yet. Anyway, so they're going to head out to going somewhere else. I forgot where they're going. They're going to go somewhere else. They're going to head out. There we go. We see Nemo's there with his automobile. I call it an automobile. So he's painted it pink. It looked like the Thunderbird's car, wouldn't it? But I'm not a big fan, to be honest, of Nemo's vehicles in this film, because I think this car looks stupid. But what's going on here? Why is that so long? I mean, they're all going to pile in there. They'll all be squished inside. But anyway, this is his first mate, I suppose, called Ishmael, I think he does actually say, "Call me Ishmael," when they get there. So yes, but what is it? It's the future. And there we go. This is my first mate. Call me Ishmael. Obviously from Moby Dick. Anyway, so they all scrunch into the automobile. Later on, I think Alan Quatermain just call it a car. So you think, well, where does he get the word car from? But apparently the word car has been used in English since the Middle Ages for any sort of, vehicle, like a cart or a carriage or chariot or whatever. So there we go. Wingley says, it's cool as a car for like the Shadow, but it's terrible, like a Batmobile or something, but it's terrible as a car for this. Yeah, but anyway. But whatever, it'll do. Or Fab 1. It looks like Fab 1, if it were pink. Anyway, so they head off into the streets of London. There we see some chaps watching them. But we learn that that's Tom Sawyer, Special Agent Tom Sawyer of the American Secret Service, we learn later on. Anyway, right, so they end up going down these alleys and stuff and getting to know each other in the back of Nemo's automobile. But anyway, and then we've got East London docks. How deep are the East London docks? I don't think they're deep enough for what we're going to see in a bit, but anyway. Another little Easter egg there. I can't make out what that says. Something, eruptions on Mars may be volcanoes. And there's reference to Alan Moore, Kevin O'Neill. So there we go. So with eruptions on Mars, because the sequel, if they were going to do it, I think the sequel comic did the War of the Worlds, didn't it? It did cover the Martian invasion of southeastern England as viewed in H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, and that would have been if they'd done a sequel movie, that was the plan to cover that, which would have been amazing, but it never happened. Anyway, never mind. Right, so they're arriving here at somewhere. Does Jack there? Another reference to Victorian times, not a very nice one, but anyway. Does Jack the Ripper live here? No, it's Dorian Gray. There he is. Played by Stuart Townsend, as I said, you may know as Lestat from Queen of the Damned. So here he is, he plays Dorian Gray. Obviously, Dorian Gray from the novel by Oscar Wilde, who stayed young while he had a painting of him that deteriorated, and that's the plot point in this film. It's also... many years ago, when I went to a convention, as I said, I like drawing and stuff. I used to draw some of the people that were at the convention, and I did one of Dominic Keating, Malcolm Reed from Enterprise, and I did a drawing of him and get him to sign it, get him to sign it and stuff. And I did one of him, and I give them one as well, not the original. I give them a copy of it, like. And that's for you. And he says, oh, I'll put it in my attic. And I went, oh, charming. And he went, no, I mean like Dorian Gray. And I went, oh, right, okay, fair enough. So that was my little repartee with Dominic Keating back in the day. Where were we? Oh, my, Dorian Gray. Right, so here they are. We learned that he knows all about M and the League, and they've asked him to join before, and he says he's not interested. But anyway, they're going anyway. And then goes, you're missing a picture, Mr. Gray. There we go, there's a blank space on the wall. And so what has happened to the picture of Dorian Gray? But he wouldn't have it just there anyway, would he? Because of what we're told about it in this film. But we're told in this film that he can't look upon the image on the picture. I don't know if that's what happens in the book. I don't know, but he can't look upon it, or the magic spell will be broken and he will age. So he wouldn't just have it hung on the wall, would he, where there was that gap? Anyway, so here they're coming to Dorian Gray's library, wherever he lives. Apparently this is, again, it's in Prague. It's an old like sugar factory or something. Does it say in the locations? CKD factory on Kolbanova Street in Prague. It's actually, yeah, it does London docks, Paris streets, Venice, because we're off to Venice later. We're off to Paris and Venice later. It's globe-trotting like buggery. So I think that's this, which apparently was like a factory for sugar beet or something, because apparently behind all these bookcases that they fitted, there's loads of rotting sugar beet. Why didn't they just get rid of it? I don't know. But there's just huge piles of rotting sugar beet that apparently stunk, so they had to pay somebody to come in and spray stuff on it or sprinkle stuff on it, this rotting sugar beet, so it didn't smell as bad. Why didn't they just get rid of it? I don't know. Maybe there were too much, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so that's where they are. They're in a factory. So they're trying to talk him into it, and he's not interested. We learn that he has some history with Mina, but even though they're acquainted, she doesn't know that he's really old. He's Dorian Gray, because remember, as long as the painting's there, he doesn't age. The painting ages, he doesn't. Dear. Ooh. Anyway, but she doesn't know that. But we do learn that he's also acquainted with Alan Quatermain, and they met at Eton. Met at a lecture at Eton, and Mina says, "Oh, so he was the callow youth, and you were doing the lecturing." And I says, "No, it's actually the other way around. He was giving the lecture, and I was the boy." Anyway, so there we go. So he's really old. Anyway, so he don't want to join in. But then some baddies arrive, they followed them there. How do they know where they are all the time? I don't know. But here's the Phantom. I did look it up, where we get the Phantom from, and I've forgotten already. Phantom is a fictional character created by French writers Marcel Alain and Pierre Souvestre. There we go. I'm just looking something else up, just bear with me. It doesn't say, sorry, I'm just looking something else up. About another character. Just see if it mentioned his accent, it doesn't. I thought it was the one from the opera. Yeah, well, there's that as well, isn't there? Yes, they could have had that. Because he does wear a mask, doesn't he? But according to Wikipedia, it's the one I just read out. But because it's Phantom with an F, not a PH. But anyway. But anywho, there we go. Of course, I am the Phantom. Apparently, he could hardly speak. He's got all this makeup on. It's Richard Roxburgh, who we met earlier on as M. Richard Roxburgh is the Phantom as well. Richard Roxburgh's the bad guy. So this is Richard Roxburgh in loads of prosthetics, and apparently he could hardly speak because of all the stuff that's in his mouth and covering his teeth and stuff, and he could hardly... That's what he's speaking like. So I'm presuming his ADR'd his lines. But anyway. So here we go, got the bad guys in, and then we see there's another bad guy comes in. Any second now. Is this one where he glances up? There we go. See, Tom Sawyer snuck in, and he does a sly wink. Wink. There we go, little wink. So he knows there's Alan Quatermain that everything's going to be okay. But so we see that I forgot his name already. Him that plays Shane West can wink, unlike oh bloody hell, Matthew Broderick, who can't wink. In my opinion, I could be wrong. Judges, this movie's plot reminds me of the Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey. I can't remember what happens in that. Maybe so, I don't know. I've seen it. I've seen the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes and its sequel. But I can't remember what happens in it. I've only seen them once and I've forgotten. But maybe so, maybe so. They did get sued, didn't they? the producers. Let's have a look. Where is it? Lawsuit. In 2003, Larry Cohen and Martin Pohl sued 20th Century Fox for intentionally plagiarising their script cast of characters which they had pitched to the studio between 1993 and 1996, noting that the scripts shared public domain characters that had not appeared in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen graphic novel series. I'm guessing Tom Sawyer. I don't know who else. Tom Sawyer wasn't in the comic. They added him for the American market, I assume. The suit accused Fox of soliciting the series as a smokescreen. Fox denied the allegations as absurd nonsense, but settled out of court. So it obviously wasn't. A decision Alan Moore believed denied him the chance to exonerate himself. From what? I don't know. But anyway, there we go. It opened. The film opened at number 2 behind Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. So yeah, it did all right. Wingray says, like a combo of that Holmes and the Kingsman. I've only seen the first one of those Kingsman films. Yes, the car and Tom were for us Yanks. The car not in the comic either. Yes, Wingray in my Connery voice. Anywho, I see he's got another hairpiece on, like he wore in The Hunt for Red October. Anyway, where were we? Imagine the riches a world war will yield. So it's what they call it? It's Hegelian dialectic that's going on here, isn't it? Where the Phantom and his cronies, they've got a name for them, and I forgot what they call them. Does it say in here in the plot description? What do they call them? A terrorist group led by the Phantom. They have got a name. You know, like the Hand or whatever. They're not called that. It doesn't say because it's stupid. Never mind. Wingray says the car might have been in the comics, but I don't think they had a fast and furious car chase doing this. Well, it's not a car chase. Well, because there's only one car in it, but it does drive at high speed, doesn't it? You do a great Connery. Everybody can do Sean Connery, can't they? Anyway, so the Phantom's doing his spiel, you know, telling him the whole plan that he's arming. He wants to arm both sides in a worldwide conflict and all that stuff. That's what he wants to do. To drop his gun and kicks it to one side. Then it all kicks off. There we go. So it's a cool action scene. He uses the. I've always wanted to. I want a library. If I become rich, if I ever win the lottery or whatever, I'm going to build I'm going to get a big house, build a library, one of them big ladders that I can do that way. Because I want one. I've always wanted one of them, a library with a big ladder on. Anyway. Ingrid says, my go-to Connery impression line comes from this movie. Oh, right, does it? Well, you'll have to tell us it. Want me to send you the link and you could come on and do your Sean Connery impression? Because I will if you want. Anyway, right, so they're all shooting up all the books. Oh, press the wrong button. They're shooting up all the books. So anyway, so he's getting his makeup off. Actually, at first I thought he got shot in the face, but he splashed water or booze or whatever in his face to get the face paint off. To get his pancake off. Anyway, so he's going to be invisible. They're all shooting people, and the really bad shots, the bad guys, must have gone to the Stormtrooper school of shooting. Anyway, the Phantom's running for his life, and Tom Sawyer's running after him. There we go, lots of shooting. Oh, this is stupid and all. There we go. They just arrive at Nemo, all of these three, just said, draw your pistol. I thought, why don't they just shoot him? Don't get it. But he says to him, draw your pistol. And he says, basically, that's not the way I roll, so to speak. There we go. I walk a different path. And gets his sword out and just gets them. And they don't shoot him, because they're rubbish. Anyway. But he's cool, look. There we go. Cool at martial arts. Were he good at martial arts in the books? I don't know. I've never read any of the Jules Verne books. Although I think I read From the Earth to the Moon at school, maybe. I probably started it, never finished it, knowing me. Anyway, the Phantom's running away, and so he goes after this fella, and this fella shouts, I don't know if I've ever seen it. There we go. Run, James, to the Phantom. So that's a clue. We know the Phantom's first name now is James. So anyway, it's all kicking off. They're dealing with the bad guys. Oh, this fella, he does what the other fella should have done with Nemo, and just shoots Dorian Gray, and Mina's like, no, Dorian, and we see him go shooting him. Look, he's really going for it and all. Winger says, I'm not home at the moment. I'll try to point out later. All right, okie. Where the hell are you? Dear. Why are you listening to this if you're not at home? How bizarre. I don't get it. Anyway, but thank you. Where were we? So, alright, shooting Dorian Gray. Obviously, he doesn't die because he's immortal while his painting's fine. Look, and all the bullet holes just turn to dust. Says, I'm complicated. Alright, yes, and he stabs this fella with his sword. He's got a sword, obviously. And as he stabs him, and as he drops to his knees, he just rips off Dorian Gray's top, because it's perforated now, isn't it? I think that's, it's easily ripped as that, but it's just been perforated on it with machine gun fire. Wingray says, going to get dinner. Oh, cool. Are you getting anything nice? I've just had porridge for my tea, I suppose you could say, afternoon tea. Early evening meal. My son's had KFC, and I've had a bowl of porridge with a banana in it. Anyway, so there we go. So he rips that, and obviously, because this is his pad, he must have spare clothes because, pardon me, he gets changed. Toot sweet. Anyway, so the Phantom's still running for his life. Look, with Tom Sawyer in hot pursuit, and he gets away, jumps through a window. There we go. Hang on. There we go. Jumps through a window. I've seen a lot of people jumping through windows recently, haven't we, in these? In Zombievers, one of the characters, the final girl, she jumped through a window, didn't she? Anyway, so they're mopping up now. So they've dealt with everybody, and everybody's okay. But then, Mina Harker's there. She gets held, there we go, at knife point by one of the bad guys who they thought they were dead. Justice says, man, the effects hold up good. The whole movie is still excellent. It is really good. And it's a fun film and action-packed. And as I say, the effects, for the most part, hold up. A lot of practical effects, There's some CG in it, but, a lot of practical effects. Where were we? Oh, yes, she's been held at knife point by this fella. And obviously they won't shoot. And it says, I knew you'd do anything to protect her. And she says, you're wrong if you're under the impression I need protecting by them, because she's a girl, boss. And also, hang on, there we go, your biggest mistake. There we go. Thinking that I need them to protect me, and her eyes are turned red, look. Then now, look, she gets him, because she's a vampire. Don't worry about it. We all know in the book Dracula, she was kind of half turned by Dracula, wasn't she? But then when they killed Dracula, she was freed from the curse. But obviously in this, that didn't happen. Maybe Dracula's still alive somewhere. I don't know, because he is mentioned. But anyway, so there we go. So we learn that she's a vampire. There we go. She's. What's she looking in that? She shouldn't have a reflection, should she? She's looking in the mirror there. I presume it's a mirror, but she shouldn't have a reflection, should she? Anyway, but does it show? It doesn't show it, does it, that she doesn't have a reflection? Anyway, maybe she's special. Anyway, so that's where we learn she's a vampire, and there we go. And now, Dorian Gray's he's in for he wants to join in now because the battle was just the thing he needed to join in, and Tom Sawyer's joining in as well. We see he's got a Winchester rifle. He says, "Oh, yes, I've got 2 if you want one." So he says, "Okay, you're in." So they head down to the docks. There they are. There's the docks. Which again is in Prague somewhere. It looks like a set, doesn't it? But apparently it's not. I don't think it is. Like I said, I think it's this what was it, Kolbanova Street, because it says London Docks. So I imagine these wooden bits here and all. I imagine it's been heavily made up. I imagine it probably doesn't look like that in real life. I think there is. There are coordinates here. Let's go and check it out on Google Maps. See what it looks like in real life. Just bear with me. I'm off on a tangent. Again. Let's have a look. See if this is right. Right, okay, where are we? Yes, we're in Prague, in Czechia, it's called now, isn't it? And this is the street. I can't really tell. It looks like a bloody building site. I don't know. Can we look at it? Is there a street view we can see? Not really. Can we see from over there? Just bear with me. About that. I think that's the nearest one. I bet that's it. Yes, I bet that's it. What if it gets used a lot as for films and stuff? I know you can't see. I will drag it over. Just hold on. 2 cotton picking minutes. Right, I will drag this over. There we go. That's this place looks like. Oh, go away, you. What this place looks like in real life. I think these buildings here. I think maybe these buildings here. That's what I reckon. And obviously all the rest is set dressing. So I wonder if it is. I've lost my thing. Never mind. I've lost the window. So that's what it looks like in real life. It looks like it is. I bet it is a. I bet they do use it in movies and stuff. Anyway. Justin says, overall, I dislike the Mina Harker. She's fine in this, but dislike the character, always doing Jonathan wrong. I don't know, because he's supposed to be dead, isn't he, Jonathan Harker? And you kind of think that she's had a thing with Dorian Gray. She kind of flirts a little bit with Tom Sawyer. So if Jonathan's not around anymore, whatever. There will be an Angry Berry episode devoted to my Mina dislike. Oh, crikey, does dislike her, does Justin. Dear. Poor Mina. I like her in this. I think she's okay. Even when she vamps, and not especially when she vamps out. Anyway, where were we? Oh, they're at the docks. Right, so this is where we're going to see the Nautilus arrive. If Dorian gets bitten, does his portrait turn? I don't think it'd work on him, would it? I think because the portrait is hidden away and nothing's happening to it, nothing will happen to him, will it? So if he did get bitten, it'd be like the bullets and just the bite would just turn to dust, wouldn't it? That's what I reckon. If she bit the painting, it might whack him turn. Anyway, she's good in this. All right. Oh, was she? You mean was she bad in the comics? All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Where were we? Oh, yes. The docks. The Nautilus is going to arrive. So here we go. Just one last member to recruit to head to Paris. Hang on. Just a minute. Let me go back again then. That's not Sean Connery, is it? I just noticed that. Who the hell's that? Have a look. That wasn't Sean Connery. Did they have a stunt Sean Connery for going down some stairs? Maybe he wasn't available, and maybe this was like a pickup shot or something. I don't know, because there are some pickup shots in this that they did like months and months after principal photography. They had to get Jason Fleming back in. Jason Fleming plays Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and they had to get him back in, put him in the Mr. Hyde thing. Don't know why, because I don't think you see his face in the pickup shot, but anyway, and do that. Justice says she's always running off with Dracula and stuff. Oh, right, so Dracula's still around, is he, in this universe? She was engaged and cheating. All right, big no-no in my book. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, she was in the film, wasn't she? Yeah. You mean in the Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula? Yeah, she was kind of cheating on her fiancé at the time, wasn't she, with her prince? But yeah. But anyway. But Winona Ryder was super hot in that film, I think. Anyway, right, so here they are. They're heading to Paris, and how are we going to get there? Oh, we're going by sea, and he says, well, it moves it on the sea or something like that. Oh, right, she's telling them all about Dracula and from Transylvania, and there we go. She says, if the vampiric sucking of people's blood is radical behaviour, then yes. But anyway, so we know that she's a vampire. But here comes the Nautilus. Here it comes, look. How deep are these London docks? I don't know, because this Nautilus is massive. Look at it. How's that fitting in the London docks? How deep is the Thames? Does it say? Let's have a look. Oh, dear. How deep is the Thames? Right, here we go. The depth of the River Thames varies significantly, ranging from just a few feet at its headwaters to a maximum, there we go, of about 66 feet. So that's not enough to get that Nautilus in, is it? 66 feet at the Thames estuary. That's 20 metres for if you're using metric. Ingrace says, I prefer my Dracula to have betrayed Jesus. Yes, no, that was yes, Dracula betrayed Jesus. Yes, he was Judas, wasn't he? Yes, in Dracula 2000 with Jerry Ryan, who looks super hot in that. The ship is awesome in this, says Justin. I don't like it. It's a cool submarine. I just don't like it as the Nautilus. It's a cool ship. I just don't like it as the Nautilus, because obviously I was raised on the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea James Mason Nautilus. That's what I always think of the Nautilus, and also the Amazing Captain Nemo with Hosey Ferrer Nautilus. That's what I always think of. Perhaps the Nautilus is also a TARDIS. It doesn't need to be though, because it's massive. Look, I mean, it's got a chameleon turkey. Is that what you mean? But anyway, there it is. It's huge, look. It's huge. Look at the size of it. How the heck did that fit in the Thames? I don't know. And it even fits in the blooming, the canals of Venice. How deep are the canals of Venice? Let's check that as well, because it's in there and all. How deep are the canals of Venezia? See, they're not deep at all. 16 feet, the Grand Canal. There you go. You got some deeper ones, which are a lot deeper, but still not as deep as the Thames. Still not as deep as the Thames. Some up to 17 metres. So yeah, not deep enough for that blooming submarine. Anyway, Justice says Dracula 2000 is underrated. That was a good one also. Yes, it's fun. Did we do it? Did we do it in Friday Night Apart with Thea a while ago? Or did I just watch it? I can't remember. 20,000, that ship is the best. But this one is kind of like it was in the book. Oh, is that how it is in the book? Fair enough. Michael Caine one was good also. What? The Nautilus? I don't know that one. I don't know with Michael Caine in. I'll have to look that one up. I think we did it like 1 or 2 years ago. Oh, right, fair enough. Anywho, where were we? Right, so here's the Nautilus. So they all pile on, and then they zip over to Paris from London. I imagine it won't take the Nautilus long, will it? Because it's super quick, innit? It's like Sea Quest, innit? And then anyway, we're in Paris chasing after somebody. It's reminiscent to Van Helsing, isn't it? Which came first? This or Van Helsing, where they were going after Mr. Hyde. Michael Caine was Nemo, was he? All right. I didn't know. I'm going to have to look that one up. I haven't seen the Michael Caine Nemo. The only ones I've seen is James Mason and Hosey Ferrer. Hosey Ferrer, however you pronounce it. Hosey Ferrer. The Amazing Captain Nemo. Cool. It was a TV, like a TV miniseries, wasn't it, that they made into a movie. Anyway, where were we? Right, so here we go. This is Mr. Hyde, obviously, they're chasing him. But they do mention, and there we go, no, it's Paris, because there's the Eiffel Tower, Wing Grace says, Van Helsing was 2004. So this was first then. So this one was first. So Van Helsing ripped this off. Stephen Summers, you're a hack. Anyway, so they're going after, I forgot his name already, Mr. Hyde, who is doing the murders on the Rue Morgue, which, if you remember, was... Who wrote that? I can't remember. It's at the tip of my tongue. I'm going to look that one up now. Was it the same fellow that wrote Phantom of the Opera? Murders on the Rue. Murders in... Oh, no, Edgar Allan Poe. It was Edgar Allan Poe. Right, fair enough. Anyway, so this is the it was a gorilla or something, wasn't it? Yes, Poe. I was thinking of somebody else. Who were I thinking of? I'm thinking of the fellow that wrote Phantom of the Opera. I can't remember who wrote that either. That's on tip of my tongue as well. Anyway, they've got big monkey has terrorised the Rue Morgue for months, but it turns out it's Mr. Hyde. Anyway, so they're shooting at him. There's his top hat on. What's his clothes all ripped? So they're trying to trap him because they want to catch him. Because obviously, they want Mr. Hyde to help them. So they're shooting at him to make him go in a certain way, and they end up trapping him in a big net. Oh, excuse me. There's Jason Fleming. He's been in loads of stuff as Jason Fleming. Jungle Book, Deep Rising. Speaking of Quatermain, Jason Fleming played Bernard Quatermass in a BBC remake of the Quatermass Experiment. Gaston Leroux. All right, fair enough. I wasn't thinking of him. I don't think. Who was I thinking of? Who wrote Phantom of the Opera? And don't say Andrew Lloyd Webber. Well, come on, where are you? No, not the bloody thing. Oh, I'm going to have to look it up. Phantom of the Opera novel. Right. Oh, it was Gaston Leroux. Right, fair enough. I was thinking it was somebody else. So I was right, but just thinking of a different author. Who am I thinking of? Hunchback of Notre Dame. Probably thinking of him. Victor Hugo. That's what I'm thinking of. I was thinking of Victor Hugo. That's what I was thinking of. Yes, sorry, you're thinking of Victor Hugo. Yes, I am, yes. Yes, thank you, Wing Grace. So I didn't see, I was on a different page, so I didn't see you say that. Yes, I was. Anyway, where were we? It's going to be a long bloody session. We're an hour and a half in and we haven't even got going yet. Because I keep getting distracted. Wow, that's a cool pause, isn't it? Anyway, so, here we go. Oh, it sends a flare up. I don't know how to send a flare up. A signal that is in position, I think. There we go. And they caught him in a big net, look, hey, and they drag him through the streets because he's kind of indestructible because they're superheroes, aren't they? And they drag him into the side of the Nautilus, which is just parked up there at the side of a Paris street, a Parisian street. Anyway, perfect. So off they go on board. On board, we can hear all this banging and thumping and shaking because they're trying to calm down. What's his face? Mr. Hyde. I see Dorian Gray's plucking his monobrow by the looks of it. As we hear this banging, and then are we going to see? Hang on, have I missed it? Have I skipped over it? We do see. Is it this bit? Yes, we see Mina doing her impression of Sean Connery.
This hunt's too dangerous for a woman. Even
Yeah.
one such as you. Leave it to me.
There you go. She's doing her impression of Alan Quatermain. But Sean Connery said it was a perfect impression, he said, because it was terrible. The worst he's ever heard. Anyway, so they're all going to check it out. Here they go. They're all going to check out what they're doing with Mr. Hyde. And there it is. They've got him all chained up and saying, stay back if you value your life. Or something like that. There you go. How did I remember that? Can't remember names, but I can remember lines from films. Anyway, so it's all, well, not all, but mostly practical is the suit that Jason Fleming's in, but they did it with like a lot of forced perspective, some digital overlays and stuff like that, but they did a lot of forced perspective, like they did in Lord of the Rings with Gandalf and the Hobbits and stuff. But it took him 8 hours to get into the makeup, so that were hard work for him, but... Anyway, and all the commotion and stuff, he helps up, Thingy gets knocked over, the Invisible Man, Skinner gets knocked over, and Dorian Gray helps him up, and he goes, oh, you scratched me. So that's a clue. There we go, you scratched me. Because we learn later on, spoilers, Dorian Gray's a baddie. Anyway, Wingray says they should make the sequel to this with the guy who played him on Celebrity Jeopardy. Darrell Hammond. I have no idea who that is. I don't think Jeopardy's ever been shown over here, unless it's on some obscure, cable channel somewhere. Like Challenge. Challenge is a channel over here. I don't even know if it's still going. It used to be where they used to have a lot of game shows on. So maybe it was shown on there. I don't know, but I don't think Jeopardy were ever a thing over here. I don't think we'd ever get the hang of it. Jeopardy. Is Jeopardy the one where? When you give the answer, if it's a person, you've got to say who is, or if it's a thing, you've got to say what is, and stuff like that. For some weird... You've got an answer in the form of a question or something like that, haven't you? Why? I don't know, but anyway. Is that Jeopardy? I don't know, because like I said, we don't see it over here. Right, where were we? Right, so anyway, they're trying to calm him down. Obviously, it's not working, but they've just got to basically wait for his potion to wear off. And... Winger says, the famous Saturday Night Live bits with Norm Macdonald and him as Sean Connery and Will Ferrell as Alex. You must have seen them on the internet. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Anyway. So there we go. They say, Mr. Hyde, you've done terrible things, but the government will grant you amnesty if you help us. So anyway, then his potion wears off, and so we go through the. There we go. He's changing back now, and again they didn't want to do snazzy CG effects and stuff. Apparently, at the cost, I've forgotten. It's like $2 million or something. Do the visual effects, for him to CG transform. So they basically did it in the same way. That they did a lot of in the commentary they said they did the same way that they did it in American Werewolf in London, but not really. But they did it with jump cuts and and cool editing. There we go. As he's transforming back to Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Henry Jekyll. So anyway, there he is, back to normal as Jason Fleming, mutton chops and everything. Wingray says, speaking of which, just saw a news story that you guys are starting your own Saturday Night Live. Yes, I think it started. I've not seen it. Apparently it's rubbish, but I don't know because I've not seen it. But yes, it has started. I don't even know what channel it's on. I don't know. I don't know if it's on the BBC or something else. I've no idea. I've not seen it. Anyway. Right, so he's changed back. He's holding his kecks up because they're now too small for him. And apparently Jason Fleming hit the gym for this scene so he can show off his six-pack. And he has a good look at it in a minute. So, anyway, so you see, look, hang on, he does look down, look, checking out his six-pack. They do mention that in the comments. Jason Fleming and Tony Curran are really funny in the commentary. They're a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Particularly Tony Curran does a lot of impressions, and some of them are not very politically correct. But anyway. Right, the league is set. There we go. Off we go. We're heading now to somewhere. I don't know where we're going. Do they know where they're going? Do they know they're going to Venice? I don't know. The league is set. Where are we going? We've got 3 days. Oh, yes, they know they're heading for Venice. There's a conference in Venice that the bad guys are going to attack. They've got 3 days, so they've got 3 days to get to Venice. Yes, so off they go. There it is. Cool. Although I still don't like it. It's cool. I just don't like it as the Nautilus. But anyway. So they're up on deck. These bits were filmed in Malta, by the way, because the bits where they're on the Nautilus at sea were filmed on either on the cliffs of Gozo overlooking the sea or wherever, or somewhere else in Malta. But that's where it is, Malta. So we're looking at the Mediterranean. I used to know a lad from Malta. Still do. I still used to work with him and still see him on Facebook and stuff. So hello, Martin, if you're watching. Don't think you will be. But he's of Maltan origin. Anyway, where were we? So they're all getting to know each other, blah blah blah. There we go, a bit of light banter, etc. So they're heading off to Venice. There we go, and so they have a little meeting. There we go. The Phantom stole these plans. I don't know how they know that. Maybe he dropped them or something. I don't know, but they're going to do something. Going to blow up Venice or whatever. Right, and then he's in his quarters. The lights go out, and we see that Skinner's in there, and he somehow finds him, grabs him by the scruff of the neck. Remember, Skinner's, by the way, when Skinner's invisible, he's nude. He's got no clothes on. So they go, Skinner, I want you dressed at all times. And if you come back in here again, you get my boot up your arse. Oh, there we go, that's what he says, look. Something like that. Is that what he says? Something.
Or it's my boot up your arse.
My boot up your arse. Apparently there's one scene where he was supposed to do something similar to that, but in the snow. Later on they're in the snow in Mongolia. Don't know why they're in the snow in Mongolia, but anyway. They're in the snow, and there's supposed to be a similar scene, and Sean Connery wouldn't do it, because he said they'd be out in the snow, and it's all his challywhacker would be hanging out, but it will be there. So they said, well, you've already done a scene. But he said, we're not doing that, so they didn't do that. Because he's a producer, isn't he? But anyway. Maybe he didn't like the thought of an invisible man's shrunken, cold Jimmy Riddler. But he did it there. And he says, you won't see him, he'll be invisible. But we're not doing that. Anyway, right, so he's apologising for calling him a pirate, etc. So, right, so here they go. Oh, I thought we were emerging out of the water. It never submerged, did it? But there it goes. Off into the sunset. Right, so on the bridge, Nemo notices some weird dust on the floor. What could that be? We will find out later. Meanwhile, Quatermain is doing his target practice. There we go, the fire in that. Look, there we go. Some buoys, whatever they are. So he's shooting at them with his big elephant gun. And he wants to give... hang on, we see he's struggling to hold it, is Sean Connery, apparently. But not as much as... I forgot his name already. Shane West? Yes, all right. Shane West. It didn't sound right when I thought of it. He really struggles to hold it. We'll get to that. But apparently he did struggle to... In the long takes, he struggled to hold it out, because I said he weighed about £40. But anyway, learn about he had a son that passed away, he died in my arms, and he feels guilty about it. And obviously, Tom Sawyer is going to become, we're going to end up with that father-son dynamic in the film. But anyway, it says, have a go with my super big gun. There we go, 900 yards. There we go, we can see he's holding it. And he does ask about his son. You have to feel the shot coursing. It's this Highlander, innit? See the stag. It's that bit, innit? Yes. This is the scene. You have to feel the shot, yeah. It's heart pounding. Then he goes running off down the beach. Anyway, but no, it says you have to feel the shot. So they do that. And he does it too soon. He shoots too soon because he's not waiting. Then he asks, is this how you taught your son? And then he's sodded off. He's sodded off as he's walked off as Alan Quatermain. But then we can see, watch this. It starts wobbling. Look, it's wobbling because it's really heavy. It's really heavy, is that gun? Particularly when we get to the end here. Look, it's too heavy. Anyway, obviously don't want to talk about it. Anyway, he sees something. What does he see? I can't remember. By the way, Skinner's, because he found Skinner in his room. Now, kind of like when things are happening now that Skinner's going to get blamed for, because I think he's invisible and he's a thief and all that. He's going to get the blame for stuff. So he notices something going on. It's Nemo praying to Kali or Shiva or whatever. I don't know which one he is. Because he's a Sikh. Is he a Sikh? Anyway. Does it say here? Kali, goddess of death. No Ray Harryhausen stop motion coming to life in this. But anyway, so there we see she's something of a chemist. She's something of a scientist herself. So she's doing all this stuff. There we go. She's seeing what the powder was that Nemo found on the bridge. And we're going to learn later on. I think it's photographic, with the, watch the birdie, flash, photographic flash ash. But anyway. So they're having a little chat, and I think we find out now that his picture is missing, and I don't think he says exactly what's happened to it, but I think he's worried about it. That something's happened to his portrait. When it tells you can't look at it, or the magic of the painting won't be undone. So that's a clue for later on. Right, what's happening here? Who's that? Yes, he's watching his Dr. Jekyll. He doesn't want to turn back into Mr. Hyde. Remember, he's got to take a potion to turn into Mr. Hyde. So and then he won't do it. He doesn't want Mr. Hyde to come back again. So he's listening to this. So we're getting lots of red herrings thrown in and all that stuff. And there we go. They're having a snog. I think he's looking at. Does he see Hyde's reflection somewhere? Is it? I think he's hearing Mr. Hyde's in his head. Trying to tell him to do stuff. Anyway, they were saying, "Shut up." He's going to see his reflection now, isn't he? He's going to see Mr. Hyde in the reflection in the porthole. No, it's not. It's there. He's having a weird moment, isn't he? Contain your evil, Doctor. Anyway, it'd be a good. Speaking of Doctor, calling him Doctor because Dr. J. I think Jason Fleming would be a good Doctor Who. I think. But anyway, tricky little hobbitses. Yes, they are. Anyway, right, so they keep seeing the reflection of Mr. Hyde in reflections. There we see he's got his potions. One of them's missing. Dun, dun, dun. Because he must always keep it fully stocked at all times, but one's missing. One of them's missing. Anyway, so they're talking about that he's going to blow up the conference in Venice. Is it told him here that somebody stole one of his potions? There we go. Blame Skinner, taking a vial of my formula. So they're all blaming Skinner. Right, they're arriving in Venice, look. With its super deep canals, big enough for a massive submarine ship to sail through. But anyway. Really quiet. It's supposed to be nuclear powered, isn't it? But I don't know if they ever mention it in this film. I mean, they might do. I don't know. I can't remember. But I think it's supposed to be nuclear powered, isn't it? So it's really quiet. Anyway, so they've got to work out what's going to happen. There we see that these are the bombs that the Phantom and his gang have planted, and we see there's some weird masquerade ball going on. But anyway, there we go. They can't go any further, so they've got to go on foot, and they've got to watch out for Skinner. I don't know how, because he's invisible. But anyway, there we go. See, there's celebrations and stuff, and it's a bloody carnival, he says. But how we're going to get there in time? Some of the stuff blown up. There we go. They're blowing up. Right, so the things are blown up, and thankfully they blew everything up miles away. Odds it use a Naquadah reactor. Because this is another Stargate spin-off. For some reason the blue, because you see, look, the buildings in the background are collapsing. They blew the stuff up miles away from where they were supposed to be the conference. So all the buildings start collapsing in that direction. But it's because we've got to have a ticking clock thing going on, haven't we? So anyway, so how are we going to get there in time? We must take out the bombs are at the city centre. I don't know, it's blown up. I don't know. We must take out one key building. It's like a game, isn't it? And they've got to get that key building with a rocket, because apparently the Nautilus in this has also got like Polaris missiles or something. Like you see in like a nuclear submarine where the hatch opens and a missile fires out. It's got one of them. Anyway, so drop a beacon at the coordinates. They'll do it. But how can we get there in time? But anyway, here comes. There we go. Here comes Tom Sawyer in the. I'm just going to call it Fab 1. In Fab 1. It's turned it into a convertible. It wasn't a convertible before, was it? It had a roof on and stuff. It must come off. There we go. Care for a spin. He's learned how to drive because he's American. And Americans are born behind the wheel. So they're piling. There's Mina and Quatermain, and he sends his men out and all that stuff. Waits for the flare. They're going to fire a flare when they get to the building, and so they'll know which building from a flare. I don't know, but anyway, so all right, and says, "Come on!" He's going as well. Is Dorian Gray, and then he says, "Come on, Henry," and he says, "No, Mr. Hyde will never use me again." And then so Dorian Gray says, "Well, what good are you?" The sarky bugger. But anyway, so off they go. See the buildings collapsing behind them, just like Casino Royale, but different. Excuse me. Right, so anyway, so they're going. He's going off to do something. I can't remember what. There's loads of bad guys. He's going to deal with those, but it doesn't really. So Mina's got to take care of them. They're all shooting at them from the rooftops, and so she's gonna do her thing in a minute. Here she comes. There we go. Right, so she's gonna do it any second now. There we go. Her voice goes all scary now as well, because she's gonna turn into a vampire now.
Save your bullets. These men are mine.
Ooh, crikey, are you scared? So she turns into a vampire and summons loads of bats. I don't know if they're local Venetian bats that just obey her, or if does she make them appear magically? I don't know, but loads of bats appear, look. And she takes out the bad guys with her swarm of bats. Is that what you call them? What do you call a load of bats? A flock? I don't know, but anyway. It's a whoop, Professor, a whoop of bats. I don't know. Anyway, so she's taking all them out. There they are, look. We get glimpses of her as well, looking kind of scary. See if we can see her. It's not showing her, is it? Come on, bloody hell. Oh, there she is. Looking kind of scared. You just get these quick glimpses of her looking like a monster, but they don't dwell on it, unfortunately. But anyway, so she takes all them out. Then more buildings collapsing, look, and all the masquerade party people running away. Rockets got to be ready for launching. And see, they're looking. He's got his binoculars out, and Alan Quatermain jumps out, and I can't remember why. He says, "I'll get out here," or something, and you go on and fire the flare. And I don't know what he's going to do. He just gets out and runs off. Did he see something? I don't know, but. Anyway, he saves the day, does Tom Sawyer. Did he see the Phantom? Maybe he did. I don't know. I can't remember. I've only watched it twice. I probably looked away at the exact same point both times. But anyway, so he finds the building. I don't know how, but he finds the building, and then crashes the car, fires the flare. The rocket launchers looks like one of the rockets from Superman, doesn't it? The movie. The first one, that Superman flies one into space, doesn't it? But one takes out the San Andreas fault. Looks like one of them. But anyway, here it comes, and it takes out that building. Tom Sawyer crashes the car, but then we go, "Bravo, boy!" and he's fine. And there we go, and they take out the building just in time and save everybody somehow. I don't know how, but they do. And everything, and Venice is saved, apart from all them buildings that fell down. But anyway, so there we go. So, he's after what's his face, isn't he? He's after the Phantom, and he just corner him in this cemetery, which is, because it says here somewhere. I've seen it. The Olsany Cemetery, again in Prague. So it's a real cemetery. So there we go. Very picturesque. If they did a sequel, says Wingrace, would John Carter come help them? Maybe he would. I don't know. He's busy on Barsoom, isn't he? He's busy on Barsoom. Maybe he'd help them on Mars. Maybe he'd stop the Martians somehow on Mars. They'd have a radio set up so they could talk to each other. With that, 15-minute delay or something, isn't there? Anyway, yes, what's his face is in here. The Phantom's hiding in here. There he is, look, and saying, "Your plan is foiled, Phantom. Venice is saved." But he's saying, "No, you made your son. You let your son die, and all that stuff." He has a go at him. And this now we're going to find out who he really is. I know all about your spy. And this is where we're going to find out that Dorian Gray is a baddie because he's back on the Nautilus. And he shoots Ishmael. He says he blames it on Skinner. He says, "No, it's not Skinner. It's me." And he shoots Ishmael, look, because he's a baddie. All part of the plan. And then we're going to see that the Phantom is M, and he takes off his makeup look. It's you! He's Mufasa. I don't get it. Anyway. Where were we? And he runs away, throws a knife at Thingamabob. James L. Jones is Mufasa. Anyway, I don't know. He runs off, gets away, because he's an oily bugger. Anyway, so Quatermain heads back to the Nautilus, and there we go. They're all back, and they still think Skinner, famous villain that starts with M. All right, fair enough. Mufasa's not a villain. It was Scarlet was the villain. Oh dear. Go and watch The Lion King again. Mufasa's the good guy. Anyway. Yes, it turns out it's M. We learn that, he is a famous villain that begins with M, not Mufasa. But we don't know that yet. But anyway, they still think Skinner's behind all the stuff going on. But then Ishmael comes out, staggers out, here he is, And he says, no, it's Dorian Gray. It was Gray. He's the bad guy. And then I think he dies. There we go. Gray has tricked us all. And then it expires. And then he's going to escape. There we go. He's escaping in the exploration pod. Here it comes. There it is. It looks a bit deadly. But there he goes. Off he goes in the exploration pod. So anyway, so they're going to catch it. We get a little view of him there. Look, he must have practiced in it while they were on their way. I was thinking Jafar anyway. That's Aladdin. Anyway, I can't remember. Oh yeah, Jafar was the baddie in Aladdin, wasn't he? I'm going to say Scar is in Aladdin, but he's not in it. Scar's in Hercules as a lion skin rug or something, isn't it? But, anyway, right, so here we go. So they fire up the screws, which are actual screws on the Nautilus. Were originally submarine propellers? Were they originally that shape, do you think? I don't know. Because they call them screws, don't they? But they're not just propellers, are they? But anyway. So off they go, breaking a bit more of Venice as they reverse out. Anyway, so... right, so they're going to get a message now on recording vinyl. There we go, this fella's come running in. I can hear this noise, this high-pitched noise, and it's coming from that. And so luckily he's got a record player, because he must have been around in COVID, so he's got his son a record player. Like everybody did, including me. So they play it back, and we're getting a message from M and Dorian Gray in black and white and scratchy because it's on a vinyl record. But anyway, so they're going to tell them all about it. It's all part of the plan, somehow. But it came on the needed to get all the powers of the people, the members of the league. So that's why he assembled them all together. So he wanted the plans, not the plans, but Dorian Gray took photographs of the bridge of the Nautilus so he could so M could build the Nautilus. But he must be going around taking pictures of it. And he took obviously stole one of Dr. Jekyll's potions. What else? Oh, he scratched the Invisible Man, so got a sample of his blood to see what makes him invisible. What else? I think he might have done something with Mina as well. He might have got some of her blood. I can't remember. Maybe when he kissed her, because we saw him kissing, didn't we? Maybe he got some of her spit. I don't know. I can't remember. But that, so he wants to recreate them and sell those powers off to the highest bidder, because that's what he wants. It's an arms dealer, isn't he, essentially? But pardon me. So that were their plans. That's what he's telling them now. But also, the fella that recruited Quatermain at the beginning were also one of M's goons. Let's have a drinky. So they were all part of his insidious plot to set the world on fire, and he will gain all the money from it and all stuff. He will harm both sides, and mankind will destroy themselves or whatever. The power of the League itself. So anyway, but then also they say, you can't hear it, but there is also a signal being sent out from this recording that no human can hear. But and it's a signal that is going to trigger crystals in bombs I've planted all round the Nautilus. They're showing Skinner's. That's from the photographic. There we go. Things that just going around taking pictures. Skinner's sample. What else? Jekyll's potion. Mina's blood. There we go. And Alan Quatermain's I don't know what they got from him, because he ain't got special powers, has he? He's the Batman, isn't he, of this team. Anyway, so there's a signal going out, but there we see in the reflection Mr. Hyde's kicking off. He can hear the signal because he's kind of an animal. Because he just said there is a signal that only dogs can hear, and Mr. Hyde. I think in the commentary they said Mina should have heard it as well. Her being like kind of a bit of an animal as well, like a bat. But anyway. They've got crystal sensors dotted about, and they're going to blow these up because there's loads of these bombs just dotted about the Nautilus that nobody's noticed. Look, one there, look, that nobody's noticed. Anyway, blows up. Oh no! Cool underwater explosions, by the way. There we go. And it's all filling up with water now. And the Nautilus is sinking, and we're taking on water and all that stuff. They've got to seal it all off. But there's men down there! Well, you know, seal it off, save the rest of the ship. But he sees, Jekyll sees his reflection, Mr. Hyde's reflection, says, we can save them, Henry, he says. So he says, right, he's got to go down, and he's got to pull some levers to pump out the water. From them sections because they can't get to him or something, I don't know. But Mr. Hyde can do it because he's big and strong. So he jumps in and says, we've got to seal it. He says, well, we've got to close it, whatever. So he says, then close it, but he jumps in first. There we go. Whee! So in he jumps. They don't let them out. The poor fellas there, look, they don't let them out, do they? They just close them in, shut them in. Anyway, so he starts changing underwater. Into Mr. Hyde. This is one of the pick-up shots that when they'd finished they realised they didn't have this shot of Mr. Hyde sinking down in the water. So apparently they got Jason Fleming back in just for this bit. I think just for this shot, that shot, according to the commentary. Why do they need Jason Fleming? Couldn't they just shoved somebody else in the makeup? I don't know, but anyway, they got him in. And maybe with this bit as well, but they still could have got somebody else in. Anyway, so he does it. He pulls these big levers and pumps all the water out, and everybody's saved. Look, all the water's going down, and I was thinking, you're going to have to drop into the water, lads, because you might end up dangling like 100 feet in the air. But anyway, yeah, they saved the day. The Nautilus bursts out of the water like the Dallas, in Hunt for Red October. Right, so anyway, so they're picking up the pieces, saying, well done, we can still follow Gray, and all that. No, they're getting a message from Skinner. Skinner's hidden away in the exploration pod, so I hope he's really quiet and don't fart or make a cough or anything, so the noise there, won't there? But anyway, he's hidden away in the nude. So he's going to tell them where they are. Oh, there we go. On way to base, east by northeast, follow my lead. And then, but they can't yet because they've got to repair the ship. So lots of hammering and all that stuff going on, and repairs. And it should play the A-Team theme, shouldn't they? Day. There we go. Look, they're doing things, turning dials, tapping gauges. And all that stuff. Anyway, so they find out where they're going to go. And I don't understand it. There we go. We will pass through the treacherous straits of Tartary, wherever that is. And then up through, it says the Amur River. I think that's it there. They're going to go up that river into Mongolia, it says there. Is that a thing? Can you do that? Yeah, they can. I mean, the Nautilus has been at the bloody Thames and in Venice, hasn't it? So I'm sure it could go up this bloody river to Mongolia. But that's what it's doing. Indiana Jones style, look. The Amur. I'm going to look up the Amur River. Get Google Maps out again. Get Google Maps out. Zoom out. Let's head over to the other side at World. There it is. It's the Amur River. Where's the... how do I change this? Oh, it's there, look. Is it... Oh, no, that's pictures. I don't want pictures. How do I change the... from to... Oh, there we go. Oh, no, I've gone the wrong thing. There we go. The Amur River. Where is it? Where is it? Is this it here? Yes, I think this is it. Does it say? Yes, the Amur River. Right, so that goes right the way down there. So does it end up in Mongolia? It doesn't look like it, does it? Maybe it does. I don't know. Keep going. Look out. It's a long way. If it does end up in Mongolia, it's a blooming long way. Anyway, that's by the by. So there we go, that's telling us where they're going now. Then to the Amur River, which empties out. Well, it doesn't empty out, does it? Into the frozen lakes of Mongolia. No, maybe it starts in the frozen lake. It empties out in the bloody Pacific, doesn't it? Or the Sea of Japan, or whatever you want to call it. But, so there we go. The frozen lakes of Mongolia. Is Mongolia frozen? I don't know. I thought it was a desert mostly. It's the Gobi Desert, essentially, isn't it, Mongolia? Where the Mongol hordes come from. And the Mongol Empire started. The largest contiguous empire in history. Obviously not as big as the British Empire, but that was dotted all around the world, wasn't it? Anyway, so here they are. In the frozen lakes of Mongolia. Are they a thing? I don't know, but they are now. So here it is. So they've arrived. Luckily, Nemo thinks of everything. They've got cold weather gear. And there we go. Peasant settlements, and they're deserted for whatever, because the bad guys are in the area. So there they are, heading out. I love a bit of snowy stuff, though, in my adventures. In my boy's own adventures. You've got to have a good snowy scene, haven't you? So they're hiding out in a cave. And a big Siberian tiger comes. There we go, it arrives. Here it comes, look. But he doesn't shoot it, even though he's the great white hunter. He doesn't shoot it. It's a beautiful animal. And then it walks off, because he doesn't shoot it. And they have a little chat about, it's not his time to die. Anyway. But then Skinner arrives. Obviously he's nude, so he's nude in the snow. It does say that I am naked in the snow. So he goes and puts some clothes on, I imagine. They must have brought his makeup for him, because he's got it there, and his glasses. So they brought some clothes for him. But anyway, so he's got a fortress, because he's the bad guy. So he's got a lair, and where he's building all his stuff. There we go, he's got his droid factory. This will be for... actually, no, it wasn't. It was after, wasn't it? Yeah, it was the year after Attack of the Clones with the droid factory, but never mind. These aren't droids. I'm kidding. This is like armour, suits of armour. But they kind of look like droids, like the robot, don't they, from Captain Proton, or, that sort of thing. But they're supposed to have men inside. And they're building tanks and stuff. They do also kind of remind me a bit of the giant robots from... Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, but they're not giant robots. They're like suits of armour and all that stuff. And then they've got scientists working on the formulas and stuff for the things that they're stolen. So they've got to go and stop it all off. There we go. He wants visible spies, army of hides, vampiric assassins, and all that stuff. That's what he's wanting, and he's going to sell it to the most eager nation because he's a bad guy. Anyway, so we've got to put a stop to that, so we're going to sneak in and do stuff and blow it all up or whatever. So in they go. There we go. The Invisible Man takes out that guard. Luckily he's by himself, and all them bats flying. So does she actually turn into bats and then reassemble? I don't know. Because I know vampires, they say they can't they? They can turn into a bat, but can they turn into a flock of bats or whatever it is? I don't know. And here comes Mr. Hyde. So he's obviously taken a formula. So he must be thinking, well, if I've got to, I suppose I better had. Anyway. Right, so we see that M were holding the painting. Essentially holding the painting hostage of Dorian Gray. But he's still a baddie. Even though he was being blackmailed to work for the main baddie, he's still a baddie, It'd probably work for him anyway, to be honest. But saying your painting's in your room. Anyway, so there he is. Right, so in they come. They've got to take out the bad guys and do all this stuff. So here we go. Right. Oh, look, they do a... yay! They do a... League Assemble and all that. Put the hands together, all that stuff. Good. Giving it all that. Hoorah! So off they go, and they split up and do different things. And set bombs and stuff there. Because they've got dynamite and stuff that they're setting bombs to blow up all the factory and stuff. And free the slaves and get them out. That's what they're to do. Right, so, and then they've got to, defeat the main bad guys. Who's this? Is that Moriarty shaving? I think it is, yes. Who banned me? There we go, Moriarty shaving. And I've just spoilt it, haven't I? I've just spoilt it. We learn that M is Moriarty. Professor James Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes. Never mind. This is Dante, his right-hand man. I don't know if he's named after anybody, but is he who likes laughing a lot, laughing maniacally. But anyway, there we go. He's got his box of tricks. Anyway, so that's all going to kick off. They're saying, look, the slaves are escaping, and so they've got to go sort them out. So anyway, it all kicks off. Look, is there in his I think it's buddy Ned Kelly. Shooting them, but here comes Mr. Hyde with a big metal door that just happened to be there. And there we go. So go and get the people or whatever. So they're all fighting, and there we go. And Quatermain's got M. Says there we go. Don't move, M, or who would you prefer, Professor James Moriarty? And now Moriarty's voice now changes to a Cockney accent, and I don't know why. He was speaking in a clipped. When he was being the Phantom, he had his gruff voice. When he was being M, he was speaking, the Queen's English, proper English, 'cause I'm M. But now he's outed as Moriarty. You get this weird Cockney accent. Is he going to say it? Is he going to say anything? Have a listen.
That man died at Reichenbach Falls.
That man died at Reichenbach Falls. I thought Moriarty was supposed to be like a gentleman, like Sherlock Holmes, because he's Sherlock Holmes equal and everything, but opposite, wasn't he? So I thought he was posh as well. I don't know, but he's a cold blimey, governor. I'm James Moriarty. Clicks his heels and all that. Jelly deals all round. Anyway, right. So and they did. Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty allegedly died at Reichenbach Falls, but. I can't remember which story it was. But then he had to come back, because after they'd done that story, what's his face? Conan Doyle wrote Hound of the Baskervilles and some others after that, didn't he? So, anyway, right, but he escapes because there's all distractions and stuff. And he's always throwing knives at things and swords. But anyway, he gets away. So they've got to go after him. Mina's going to take on Dorian Gray. So they're going to fight, which is fun. There we go. Oh, she's vamping out, look. So they're going to fight each other, stabbing each other and all sorts, and slashing their faces, look. And said, we'll be at this all day, he says.
We'll be at this all day.
Very amusing. So anyway, I'll make sure we're still going, because I've been playing clips, haven't I? Got to be careful. Come on then. Are we still going? Oh no, hang on. Yes, we are. Crikey. I thought something had gone wrong then. I thought something had gone hideously wrong. Are we still going on? Yes, we're still going on Rumble. Anyway, where were we? So they're fighting away. And he gets her. Hang on, is this another stunt woman that looks nothing like? Oh no, it might be her. Oh, I think it is her, isn't it? So they're fighting away, and then he gets her with his sword, and he thinks he's killed her. I've done it now. There we go. Runs her through, and he thinks he's killed her. She falls on the bed. Obviously, doesn't know the law. It's got to be a wooden stake, hasn't it? Unless it's life force, and then it's the leaded iron. But he Kills, but he obviously doesn't know. You don't pull the bugger out, do you? So anyway, so he thinks he's taken out Mina, which I think he has, but he pulls it out. They're going after what's his face, Moriarty, but he gets waylaid by an invisible man. He says, "Oh, Skinner." Says, "Oh, what do you think I'm Skinner?" So it's another invisible man, a bad one. So he's fighting him. There we go. So. And then another one of these, another robot from Captain Proton arrives with a flamethrower. So it's all going to start blowing up in a minute. There we go. Boo, blows up. And then I think Skinner actually does arrive now in a minute because he does something. There we go. Skinner gets the flamethrower guy, but he gets all burnt, the Skinner. I think he does survive, though. I think he does survive. We see him. Oh, he's there, look. Gets all burnt and runs off, look. Runs off all burning. Ag! Meanwhile, Captain Nemo and Mr. Hyde have got to deal with Dante, who's going to take there we go. He's going to take all the potion he's made, and he's going to turn into a super big, like Red Hulk sort of thing. There he goes. He goes, "Don't drink it all," and he's drunk it all, and he turns into a big I think it's a CG. It looks CG version of Mr. Hyde. Anyway, meanwhile. There we go. He takes out the sword. You never remove it, do you? Hasn't he watched the old, Universal Dracula films? Never take it out. So she obviously comes back to life, doesn't she? And she gets him, but she pins him to the wall with the sword. There we go, "You broke my heart once." There we go. And he's stuck. He can't get off. He's stuck to the wall, and he can't get off. And she brings the painting. Look, it's covered up there, but she opens it up, and then we have a bit like an Indiana Jones thing with a he chose poorly scene going on. So there we go. She shows him the painting. There we go. And now, but he can't look upon it. The magic is broken, and now he turns into a not great CG, but it's okay. But he starts now. He chose poorly, so he starts rotting away. There he goes. There he goes, turned into a skeleton, and he young again in the painting. It's him. He's grown young. Anyway, right. So, we find Tom Sawyer finds Skinner there, looking all burnt, but he's not dead. He obviously recovers, but he's burnt. So, let's get some cream on that. So. Right, so they get to there we go. They're getting to the climax now. Moriarty and Quatermain, I keep forgetting the names, I'm an idiot, are fighting away up in this attic area somewhere. So they're doing that. So we're switching between the different battles, aren't we? And they're going to be fighting. And Mr. Hyde's going to be fighting the Dante monster. Is he going to show it? Mr. Hyde comes. No, they're going to show it. Here comes Dante, turned into a super Hyde. He's going to show him, for Christ's sake. There he is. Here he comes. Here he comes. There he is. It looks like something from like Resident Evil or something, doesn't it? He should have a big eye on his shoulder. But so they're fighting away. And he's obviously a lot bigger, but Mr. Hyde's still strong. You can still throw him about a bit. But there we go. So they're fighting away. And they're fighting away as well. A bit of fisticuffs going on in various places. It's all very funny. Hang on, is it? He throws Captain Nemo, and it looks very amusing. Is it this? I've gone the wrong way. There we go. The way Captain Nemo lands here, it reminds me of something. I can't think what, but the way he lands, it looks really comical. So he's thrown him. The bad Mr. Hyde, the Dante Hyde, has thrown him. So here he comes. He's going to land next to Mr. Hyde, probably breaking his pelvis and bones and whatever. It's fine. Here he comes. Look, here he comes. And the way he lands here, it reminds me of something. I can't think what. I've seen it in something that was just fun. Just like, I'm all right. But anyway. Right, so they're going to run for it. And they're still fighting. But it's going to... Moriarty's going to stab thingy in a minute. Right, so there we go, they're running out. And they end up in this courtyard thing. Remember, by the way, there's all the dynamite that they've dotted about with timers on. But meanwhile, as the super Mr. Hyde's trying to break through, he's knocking all these big icicles down. And Jason Fleming said, when all these big icicles were dropping, I don't know what they were made of. He didn't say if they're made of plastic or fiberglass or something, I don't know. But he said afterwards, after a few takes, they were picking it out of my skin because it were all sticking in him. But these needle-sharp little bits of it. He says it wasn't fun. But anyway, so they're doing that. There we go. They're all going to start blowing up soon. Are all them sticks of dynamite. So here we go. They're just about to be killed. And he's about to kill Moriarty with a big axe. With an axe. So he's about to do that. But then all the explosions are going to go off. There they go. All the explosions are going off. The villain's lair is going to blow up. There we go. So obviously that interrupts stuff, and he gets buried under loads of. There we go. Under loads of stones. There we go. And obviously that squishes him because we don't think we see him again. Because we're getting to the end. They get out. Oh, he's changed back, by the way, as Dr. Jekyll. His potions run out. There we go. The fortress is in flames. There's the mask. There we go. He's going to shoot. Because he didn't get him with the axe, but he picked up a gun and he's going to shoot Moriarty. But I think the invisible one appears and spoils it. Yes, the invisible one's got Tom Sawyer held hostage. Look, you can see it in the reflection there. So he turns round and then gets stabbed in the back, and Tom Sawyer takes out the invisible chap and knocks him out, whatever. And Moriarty jumps through this. Is this another stunt man? Is this another stunt man? Probably. I don't know. Don't look like Richard Roxburgh, does it? He jumps out and starts running away. This is like the beginning of the film. Remember when the bad guy were running away in Kenya, when the bad guy were running away from Alan Quatermain, and they were too far away and all that. And then he's practised on the nautilus with the far away targets, and obviously he shot too soon. Now he's got to shoot at the right time. Take your time. There you go. Take your time. So he does, and he takes out Moriarty. There, take your time, and he collapses. Remember, he's been stabbed in the back, and he's running to the exploration pod to escape. So take your time. There we go. He thinks he's got away with it. By the way, he's got his little box of potions and stuff. But anyway, there goes the bullet. He fires the bullet, gets him, kills him. Because there we go. The box of stuff goes into the Mongolian lake water, frozen. I don't know. I thought Mongolia was hot, but anyway. And he's dead because his eyes are open. He's not moving, so I'm guessing he's dead. Anyway, he says, "Yes, I knew you could do it, boy." He doesn't say that. He says, "This new century is for you." There we go. "May this new century be yours, son." And then he dies. Oh, no. And then he stands there and bows his head in respect. Look, like that. Look, bows his head in respect for Alan Quatermain. And then we cut to Kenya. We're back in Africa now. And there's a witch doctor there doing stuff. And we're at the funeral of Alan Quatermain. There he is, buried next to his son. With them all around. And we see that, there we go, they're all back of the gang, the surviving ones. And even Skinner's back. So they've treated his third-degree burns. Did Didn't you watch Mulan? Which one? I've seen the cartoon one. I haven't seen the live action one. That was frozen when she killed 1 million soldiers on Avalanche. Obviously, Mongolia is nothing like I expect it to be. I know they have yurts in Mongolia. That's all I know about Mongolia. And its capital is Ulaanbaatar. That's all I know about it. Anyway, isn't there a big... There's like a massive statue or something in Mongolia. Is that somewhere? Is that one of the other former Soviet republics? I can't remember. So would Connery return in the second one? Well, who knows? But anyway, so they're all paying their respects to Alan, and they're all going to go off and carry on being the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Who would be the new M? I don't know. Would it be, the Bond grandfather or whatever? I don't know. But anyway, so they all go and. He leaves. Remember, he had another Winchester rifle for him, so he leaves that on the grave. So off they go, and the witch doctor, shaman, whatever you want to call it. I think the credit says witch doctor. Takes some of the soil. It does look familiar. I thought it was Peter O'Toole at first. I don't know when he died, but it does look like Peter O'Toole. Well, I think he does. And he starts. There we go, doing magic stuff. And all the clouds start moving really quickly, look. And then we hear all thunder and lightning and stuff. Oh, for Pete's sake. And then all the graves start shaking. And they did say, they did toy with the idea of Quatermain's hand coming out and grabbing the rifle. But they thought, no, we'll just end it, a bit enigmatic or whatever. But they were making it out he was going to be resurrected. Yes. Maybe he would have been. I don't know. But that's the end of the film. There we go. A really, really good film that is unfairly maligned, in my opinion. Yes, so he would be back. Yes, but would Sean Connery return? Because he didn't like this film, did he? And I don't know why people don't like it. I think it's really good, and it were all, not only Sean Connery's last film, but also buddy Stephen Norrington's last film, unfortunately, but never mind. I don't think there's anything at the end, is there? I don't think there is. I think I did watch it all the way. No, nothing at the end. No end credits scene, but top-notch flick. Top-notch flick, in my opinion. So there we go. So go and watch it. Go and get the Blu-ray, which is a lot of reasonably priced on Amazon. It is. Hang on. I'm hidden behind a thingy. There we go. So yes, go and watch it. It's on Amazon as well. Prime and I think it is, and on YouTube and all that. You can rent it if you want, or you can buy it or whatever. There are other ways to see and all, but Justice says, because if it made more money, it would have to come back. Great movie. Yes. But I don't think it was the money, really, because it did okay, didn't it? It more or less made its budget back, didn't it? More or less. It wasn't that far off, was it? I think it was just the critical response, and that Sean Connery didn't enjoy making it, and he didn't get on with Stephen Norrington. So I don't know, but everybody else seemed to have a good time and have fond thoughts about it, the commentaries and stuff. But they're not going to say I hated it, are they? But anyway, so yes, so there we go. So that's the end of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. A really good film. And that's sadly not well loved, and it should be, in my opinion. The film that retired Sean Connery, Sir Sean Connery. But anyway. Right, so we'll leave it there. So what's coming up next? What day are we on? Monday, on Wednesday, for the last Watch Party Wednesday for a while. We're watching Who Dares Wins, a.k.a. The Final Option, with Lewis Collins in SAS action, inspired by the Iranian embassy siege and all that stuff. just said, didn't they almost get into a fight? I think they did, yes. And I can't remember what though. But yeah, they did fall out, didn't they? Big time, did Connery and Norrington. And it is getting more love now, though. Well, I'm glad to hear that because it is a really good film. So on Wednesday, that's that. On Friday, where is it? For Friday Night, A Point with Fear, this week we're looking at The Forgotten with Julianne Moore and Dominic West and I forgot his name now. Anthony Edwards. I think it's Anthony Edwards. A really good. I don't know if it's not a horror. I don't class it as a horror. I class it as like a sci-fi chiller. But there are some spooky scenes in it. So that's what we're reviewing on Friday. And next week, I have no idea. No idea what's happening next week. Right, so we'll leave it there. I'm all done and dusted. I'm dying for a wee, so I'm going to wrap it up. So thank you, Justin, and thank you, Wingrace, for keeping me company. I don't think anybody else popped in, did they? I didn't notice. If you did, I apologise for not noticing. Let's have a look on Rumble and make sure nobody's left anything in the chat there. No, they haven't, and there's no comments either. No, they're in. Right, so thanks for what we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, and wherever you are, look after each other. Let me get sorted. Where is it? There we go. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll say there.